Okay, so welcome to the Queen's University Equestrian Team Info Night. So we're so excited to have you guys here to learn a little bit more about the team. And yeah, we're really excited for the season ahead. So I'm just going to go into a little bit of an overview of what this session is kind of going to look like. So we're going to get everyone on the executive team to introduce themselves. And then we're going to go into a little bit about the Queen's Equestrian team versus the Queen's Equestrian Club, because we were getting a lot of questions about that from the forum. And then we'll go into an overview of what it's like specifically being on the team. So looking at what the competitions look like, pricing, and then time commitments. Then we'll open the floor to questions if you guys have. And then I know we've got quite a few from the forum, so we're going to do our best to answer them throughout the presentation. But if we forget, if you want to unmute at the end or put them in the chat, please feel free to do so. Okay, so I will introduce myself. So I'm Emma. I'm one of the junior captains this year. This is my third year on the team. It's been really one of the highlights of my university experience. I've met some of my closest friends this way, and the competitions have been so much fun and just a really great break from studying. I'm in life sciences, so it's a pretty heavy program. So needless to say, I look forward to a break. So I'll pass this off to Lily to introduce herself.
So I'm Lily. I'm one of the other junior captains for the year. Like Emma, I'm on my third year of the team and also in my third year of life science. The team has been an awesome way to keep riding throughout the winter and kind of keep me in shape for coming back and riding throughout the summer. And it's a great way, a different style of competition, which is very nice to switch it up sometimes. And now Morgan is going to introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Morgan. I am one of the captains of the team as well. I've been captain, this will be my third year, but I've been on the team for 4. Well, I guess going on 4. I'm going into my 4th year of sociology at Queen's. I love it. I sort of tapering off and I am sad about it, but I also was a part of the OCEA, which is the association that is kind of in accordance with all of the equestrian teams throughout the province. So that's university and colleges as well. And I was vice president there for 2 years. I'm not serving on the association this year, just to kind of enjoy my last year and not have too many commitments, but it's been great. Same thing. I'm grateful to have experienced a lot of, well, not only my leadership, but a lot of team members and learned how to kind of build a family with what you kind of are experiencing that season. And it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And it's a break, but it's also kind of like you're establishing great socials, like a great social family outside of your studies. And it's the best of both worlds. So I think that's all I have to say.
All right, I guess I'll go next. And first off, I apologize. I'm actually in the basement of a restaurant because my mom's birthday dinner ran long. But I still want to come on here just to quickly introduce myself. So my name is Rachel Gosson. I'm going into my third year of political science at Queen's. This is also my third year coming onto the team. And it is my first year on the executive team. So I'm the treasurer. Someone's coming downstairs, right? But so I'm the treasurer, so I'm taking care of the budget for the team this year. So any finance related questions, feel free to ask me. Not too much to say other than the team has been such a fantastic outlet to really reconnect with people who have such a similar passion to you, especially in a really large and often sometimes intimidating field, and coming onto campus can be sometimes. So it's really nice to kind of come home in a sense to talk to people that you may know from shows that you may have ridden with at similar barns or things like that. Yeah, it's a fantastic sense of community, and it's truly been one of the highlights of my career at Queens. So yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll go next. My name's Jillian, and I'm going into my 4th year on the team, and 4th year is sociology as well. This year I've taken on the role of social media sponsorship and events, so a bit of a busy year, but Morgan's very excited about that. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't too sure what riding was going to look like coming out to university, but the QET has been really great. It's been really nice to keep at it. I've grown really close with everyone on the team, and I think it's a great way to be involved in the Queens community and building relationships throughout sports, but academics as well. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it for me.
Okay, so my name is Olivia Davidson. I'm going into my 4th year on the team as well, and 4th year in sociology. This year I'm the travel coordinator, so basically I'm just like helping in booking like hotels, buses. We have forms we have to fill out every time we're going to a show called an OCASP, so filling out and submitting those. I've really enjoyed being on the team. It kind of gives, a group of people that one, I'm now really close with, which is kind of nice because we can bond over horses, but also, your roommates aren't always loving of horses. So it's nice to have a group of people that you can talk about horses with without annoying your roommates over it. Yeah, like Emma said, it's a nice break from schoolwork. Sometimes taking a whole day off from a show could be somewhat stressful, but it also teaches you time management, which is also kind of a double pro in a sense. But yeah.
Hey, so my name's Hannah, and I'm the Queen's Equestrian President. I'm going into my 3rd year in this role, and I'm actually heading into my 5th year in biology. Um, a big part of my decision to stay at Queen's was actually due to the team. I've really enjoyed my time here, and I want to get one final year before I move on. So I'm just gonna go over briefly the Queen's Equestrian Club, which is our recreational stream for riding. So riders in the Queen's Equestrian Club do not compete. They do not have the option to compete as they're not on our team's roster, but they do get to do weekly lessons out of Dreamcatcher Farm, which is about 20 minutes away from the university. We take in riders at any levels. We have those who have never ridden before, all the way to those who have competed, silver, and even some gold riders as well. The club is really kind of based on that community that you get from riding. The lessons are a good way to de-stress, and you get to meet other like-minded people as you're in kind of a lesson group with 4 to 5 others. We try to make lesson groups where one person in the group has a car so they can kind of help with the transportation. If not, we have riders split Ubers, or it's a bus route that gets you pretty close to the barn. So those are also options. Yeah, the lessons are $260 for 8 lessons through the semester. And if you miss lessons, we have kind of a makeup week at the end where you're able to do 1 extra lesson to make it up, or you have the opportunity to join other groups through the semester to make up that lesson. Since the club is kind of focused on kind of the joy of the sport and just staying active through university, we also have like club social events, normally 1 per semester. Sometimes we have movie nights. We've done trivia nights in the past. We've done club spin classes, just to kind of stay connected with that equestrian community in more of a casual way.
Awesome. Thanks, Hannah. Okay, so now we're going to get more into what the Queen's Equestrian team looks like. So as Morgan said, we operate under the OCEA, so that's all of the universities and colleges, a few colleges across Ontario, and McGill is also thrown in there. So these are the 4 divisions that run at all the OCEA shows. They are hunter divisions. So Lily's going to get more into the competition format, but This is more of like the jumping, what it looks like. On screen here is the criteria for each division. So I'll just use intermediate as an example. So to be qualified to compete in the intermediate division, you need to have won 3 equitation over fences classes at 2'9", or place 6 times in an equitation, a hunter over fences, or a jumper class at a height of 3 foot. And we need to be able to see a show record of you doing this as well. And this isn't anything about your riding ability. It's more just kind of like a safety thing. Just again, we'll get more into it, but you're on a different horse at every show. So really it's just about safety. If you've never shown before, you would be in the entry division. And then if you've never ridden before and you're looking to ride at Queens, you would be more interested in looking at joining the Queens Equestrian Club. And then also, so we compete on the East Zone throughout the normal season. So that we compete against McGill, University of Ottawa, and Carleton. And then at the end of the year, we would compete against all of the universities.
Okay, so I'm going to get into the competition format and what a kind of day in the life during an OCA show would look like. Our shows run over a 1-day format, and we typically start with the open division, and they'll do their over fences and under saddle, and then we work our way down through the divisions, ending the day at entry. And so you will be assigned a horse to ride in for each class, and this horse will be different, ideally at each show, but it will be different for your over fences and your under saddle. It runs in a catch riding format, so you don't have the opportunity to warm up the horse or have any experience with it before. Once you step into the ring, you are being judged with it. Again, as Emma mentioned, it's a hunter equitation class. And so horse handlers and volunteers are needed for every show. So we try to have everyone involved on the team, whether they're a core or alternate rider. As for earning points, you earn individual points for your under saddle and over fences separately. So you can qualify for finals in both classes or just one. But then additionally, the points add up, and there's a high point team and a reserve high point team at every show. As for how many shows we have per semester, we aim for 4 shows for the school year. The past 2 years, I think we've had 3 in addition to finals. So it works out to about 2 shows, maybe 3 a semester.
Okay.
I just see sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I just see a question about the club in the chat. And yes, we love volunteers from the club to come out if they want to be involved and help out and have that kind of show day volunteer experience. We love having people come out. We pretty much before every show, we send out a little note to our club riders and ask if they would like to come. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. So a little bit more about the structure of the team. So we aim to have a roster of about 20 riders. So 4 divisions, 5 riders per division. And so we take 2 core riders and then 3 alternate riders. So I'll explain a little bit more about what that means. So if you are a core rider, you're expected to compete at every show. So you're basically guaranteed to compete throughout the season. If you are an alternate rider, unfortunately, we can't guarantee that you'll be able to compete at all during the season. That being said, every effort will be made to try to get you to compete at least once. It really just depends on how many horses are available that year. Like a bit about my experience, I was an alternate my first year, and I was fortunate enough to ride at every show. And it also depends on, say, like if a core rider can't make it, the alternate will fill in. But the core riders should expect to be at every show. And then all riders, though, are welcome to come to every show. We like seeing good sportsmanship. And then I'll get into a little bit later on, there is a show that we'd expect everyone to come to. So then a little bit about tryouts. So they are not in person. We do it over a Google form. And it'll walk you through what we're looking for. So I see there's something in the chat. I'll just check that at the end.
I'm
So
responding. I'm responding
oh,
now.
you're good. Okay, thank you.
I can also just quickly say we just need a show record. So as long as it's your name as well as like your placings that are outlined, it doesn't like it could be any series of, it's like just any transferable series, just so it's more just as like as Emma said, the safety, and like where we know to place you, just like whether it's in your kind of, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, so and then we ask for a video of you over fences. So preferably a show video, but if you've never shown 6 jumps is probably good. We might ask for a flat video this year, but we'll put that in the form if we do. But if anyone's wondering or trying to get their videos now, just like a flat video walk, trot, canter is something we might ask for. But just keep updated on our Instagram, but they will open sometime in early August.
So riding is expensive, as I'm sure everyone knows. And so the OCA tries to keep this affordable for riders, especially as we are university and college students. So there's a lot of finances involved there. Note that all these fees are subjected to change, but this is based off of the past few years and what we expect them to be going forward. To try out, when you send in your form, we also ask that you send in a $40 tryout fee. We have ARC memberships, so that is to be associated with like the Queen's recreation programs. And that also covered our transport fees last year. And that was ranging from $250 to $400. And we aim to only have the competing members of the team pay that fee. We'll also have to pay an OCA membership fee. In addition, you need to have your Ontario Equestrian or an equivalent like provincial equestrian membership. For example, we have members on our team from BC and their provincial membership was equivalent to compete at the OCA. And each show was, I believe, 86 plus tax. So it worked out to be around $96 a show as a core rider. We have other events such as finals and banquet that also come at an additional cost on top of the other financial commitments I've pointed out here. We also offer lessons, and this is separate from the lessons that are associated with the club. The team lessons out of McBrien Stables currently. Group lessons are usually 3 to 4 people. You have to be there 30 minutes before your lesson to help tack up your horse, groom, the essentials before you ride. We try, or at least the lesson barn tries to have you riding different horses in lessons so you can get a little bit of experience for the OCA shows. The prices are subjected to change, but it's usually about $50 to $55 for a 1-hour lesson. We have weekly or bi-weekly options. And in addition to this, you need your OE membership, and that's required for your competitions as well. Lessons aren't mandatory, but they are recommended, especially before a show. If you don't have a lot of experience riding a lot of different horses, it's kind of nice to have a lesson on a horse you've never ridden before to kind of gauge what competing in the OCA might be like. We try to carpool. We'll organize that people who do have cars are in lesson groups if possible, but again, it's not always possible. So splitting an Uber is what some people did last year for a couple of their lessons, but the lessons were a great way to get different experience on a variety of horses and kind of prepare you for the show.
Okay, so looking at the time commitments of being on the team, so this is not an extremely time-consuming team. It's nothing like if you were on like the volleyball team at Queens. That being said, like we do have a few mandatory commitments that we expect you to be there for. So this year we're looking at introducing volunteering, and this is honestly just to help cover some of the costs so that you're not paying as much for the shows, and that we're able to do a few more fun things throughout the semester. So this will probably only be once, maximum twice a semester. So for example, we're looking at maybe volunteering doing a football game, so nothing crazy. And then this is what I had kind of mentioned before. We expect everyone on the team, so core alternate riders, to be there for the Queens hosted competition, just because we'll need all hands on deck to either be getting a horse ready, helping your fellow teammates get in the ring, like etc. And then, so looking at competitions, so they are typically on Sundays, and we are off campus basically the entire day. So we leave at 5 a.m. We probably won't get back on campus until about 6 p.m. If you're at the show, you're not studying, you're helping your fellow teammates, whether that's videoing, and we try to help out other teams as well. Just it's a real team sport. It's a bit different from the normal competitions that you might have experienced. We might stay at a hotel the night before a competition. It just depends how far it is. And then there'll be a few mandatory meetings throughout the semester. So there'll be one when we release the roster, just kind of going over the expectations for the year. There will be one before our first show, and then before our first hosted competition, but these will probably be held over Zoom. And if you can't make it, we'll be filling you in, or there'll be a few nights options, but just those are important to know the expectations for the year. And some of the other events you can look forward to. So we have the OCEA banquet. So this is the same weekend as OCEA finals. So it's really fun to get dressed up with everyone. And this is where you would get your year-end awards. Team dinners, we like to do at least one a semester. And if you're in first year, Kingston has a lot of really great restaurants. So this is a lot of fun. We've done quite a few workout classes in the past, and we're going to bring those back this year as well. So we've done spin classes. Last year, we were also lucky enough to have one of our team members lead a fitness class, so that was a lot of fun. We like to do a few socials throughout the year, so this might be decorating some signs for a horse show, and then also a few clinics throughout the year as well.
So I just saw the question about lesson nights, and I saw Morgan kind of answered it, but we will typically, or last year we sent out a form saying like, check all the times you would be available. And that was based off of when the coach said she would be available for lessons. And then we will organize groups that are available as the same time as you, and then you can go on the lessons that night. So it really depends on when the coach is available, but we try to have multiple options for different people.
All right, well, I think if anyone has any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat or unmute. I know that's a little bit daunting too, but I'll leave our social media handles and our email up there, so you can email us anytime and we'd be happy to answer. I think there was another question that I had missed from the forum that I kind of went over, if it had ever interfered with academics, and I've never had that problem. It's just kind of time management and stuff, but it's really only one day that you're missing studying out of a semester, but trust me, you will like the break. Oh, I see a question. Who is the coach? Is it Alex Mitchell? I ride with her. I know she rides. Yeah, thank you, Lily.
Yeah, Alex is down south for a lot of the winter, so she's not able to coach us. The other thing I just wanted to add right at the end is if anyone has questions more specifically about their recreational stream of riding, and this doesn't seem like something they would want to do, you can direct those questions. It's qequestrian@queensu.ca, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about that.
I guess I could also plug the OCEA, even though I'm technically considered an alum now. East Zone, it's really difficult to get a full kind of roster of exec. It's a great resume builder. It's a provincial organization. You learn quite a bit, and you also get to connect with a lot of other people. So if anyone's ever interested in that, same thing, like just contact, like you can send an email to the Queen's Equestrian email, or if you, I don't know, find me on Instagram. I'm more than happy to answer that question or any questions. It's always also nice to have a bit of a diverse school board, like, or I guess like a diverse or a range of schools that are on the board. Ideally, we could have like there's 4 positions, one from each school that's in our zone can be representative of that area, just to kind of make sure it's all equal. But yeah, if anyone's ever interested in that, just give us a shout as well.
There was just a question in the chat. Hannah, I'll probably let you answer this. Just about joining the club, how someone would sign up for it.
Yeah, so registration for the club opens normally kind of that first week of school. We'll post about it on our social media. And if you shoot me an email, I'll add you to our email list. You get that. There's basically 2 steps to sign up. First, you have to register for the club through, it's called the QREC portal. It's basically the Queen's clubs. If you're on the team, you'll also have to do this as well. But that way, kind of you sign all the waivers and pay the fee. And then we also have you do a Google form so you can tell us a little bit about your availability, your kind of experience, stuff like that, so we can place you in a lesson group. All that information will be on it's Queen's Equestrian, that's the Instagram for the club. And then, yeah, if you shoot me an email, I'll also add you to the email list.
Awesome. And then also, like, if you can't remember the email or anything, feel free to message the team email and we can connect you with Hannah. Yeah, was there any, oh, I see another question. Awesome. Okay. All right. Were there any other questions?
I'm just going to make a quick note about the website. I'm currently in the process of updating the whole thing. It's quite outdated, so it's taking me a bit of time, but I will have it up by the time we have tryouts posted so that any information you may need will be up on the website and you can refer to that at any point.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Julie.
Love you. Thank you. Okay. Do you want me to answer the
Yeah,
honor?
that's definitely a Morgan question.
Sorry. Great presentation, Lily and Emma. Amazing. But on average, it totally depends. So there's been some years where you kind of like we like to have a 20-person roster, kind of like 5 each division. Yeah, 5 each division. So there's been some years where you probably get like 30. Oh my gosh, no, never feel bad for joining late. Sorry, ADHD moment. Never feel bad for joining late. You can join whenever. It's like open to master students too. Like sometimes master students like don't know about the team and then they kind of come in anyway, yeah. But on average, you can see from like you could be like scraping the very bottom for even divisions where it's like you have a heavy like intermediate division, which is usually the case. And so it's just like also based on captain discretion and your show record. Like if you're kind of shooting for intermediate, like, but you're actually qualified for open, there is always some moving around. However, we always contact before, like we kind of like would move somebody up, if that makes sense. But you could see between like, it totally ranges, but you could see from at most, like, I think, well, at most you could probably go pretty much endless, but like, at the very least, you could probably see like from around like 10 to 15, which is still great. I think like in my first year as captain, we had around like 17 maybe. But then as like the season kind of goes on, you kind of like pick up some more traction, and then our last year it boomed. Like we kind of got quite a few tryout forms.
Last year we had 26 people try out, and the year before we had 21.
Okay. Oh, there you go. See? I thought it was like 17. I don't know why I felt like we were undershot there. But like during COVID also, it's like I'm coming off of COVID. So in my first year I didn't compete, like we didn't have any competition. So yeah. But it's usually hit or miss. Like from previous captains, usually they say it's hit or miss.
All right. Was there any other questions? Oh, there we go. Oh, good. Okay.
I actually want to add, just based on the question saying, would it be bad to try out my third year? Absolutely not. And also we would love, like, say you try out this year and we had a really busy year. Don't feel bad trying out again the next year because you never know how the roster changes. And based off how many returning riders or anything like that, it does not hurt to try out again as well. Or waiting till your third year to try out still sounds like a great idea to me.
Right. Well, if anyone has any other questions, yeah, feel free to reach out to us at any one of these sites. We'd be happy to hear from you.
I can
Everyone
just
try.
yeah, I get it. Everyone, no, it's a free for all every year, which is like just kind of how, well, it's how I was kind of passed off. So yeah, usually every year it's definitely, it'll always be based off of like your video and all that good stuff.
Thank you all for coming. We are excited to have some interest in the team this year, and we are glad to get an information night to kind of teach you guys or tell you guys about the team. And we hope to get some more information out to you soon on social media and whatnot. And we look forward to getting started with the season.